Welcome back, fight fans. I go by the name of Vak.
And I'm Barack, the boxing bully.
And another special guest friend to the room on the line. Big fight February 24th in Florida. Our guy, Edgar Berlanga.
What up, champ?
What's good, baby? How's everything, man?
Good, man. Thanks for joining us as you sit in your new home, your 5-bedroom mansion down in Florida. So you're no longer a New Yorker. You can't be claiming New York, man.
Wow, you go that far.
Nah, yeah. You can't do that, man.
All right, so at heart, you still from NY?
Yeah, I know it's a snowstorm. I'm missing the snow right now, man.
Yeah, no, you ain't missing that. You know,
Crazy.
Listen, Edgar. First off, look, you're fighting an undefeated fighter on the 24th of February, right, in the state of Florida. Do you think you actually moving down there to Florida and the fact that Florida does have a heavy Hispanic, especially Puerto Rican community, it's a place where it could become your second home for fights?
Yeah, 100%. I moved out here, just for the simple fact, just to like really lock in on my career, and especially for my son. You know what I'm saying? To get him a better upbringing, but most importantly, it's just for my career, just to really lock in and just focus and just, live the life of a fighter.
Do you think that New York might have been like, there might have been some distractions there that kept you from focusing?
I'll say like it has you would say it has a good percentage of that, but I think New York is not for athletes, man. Like I think the city life is not for an athlete. I think that when you want to become great, I feel like you got to just get out of your comfort zone and go to somewhere where you don't like it, and that's what I did. I came out here where I hated it the most. I was out here before, like 5 years ago, when I was training, with Mark, and I came back. I'm like, damn, I came back to where I hated it the most. You know what I'm saying? And I made it at home. So.
Wow. All right. So you going back to your original trainer, you said he's the one that made you the monster that had all of the knockouts in a row. So have you seen a difference since in yourself? Without anybody else saying it, but in yourself, have you seen a difference with going back with this trainer?
Yeah, for sure. I think he's the one that made me after the amateurs. He grabbed me from the amateurs, and when I was like more of a mover and just moving around in boxing, he made me, and he taught me how to sit down on my punches, and that's how, the first round knockout came about. Right. Was because of him, but with him, it was we never like really looked, he never wanted me to knock people out in the first round, he was always like telling me like just to hide your punches, and he felt like, and I knew like when I left him, everything started opening it up, I started catching more first round knockouts and everything was like, so now like, this camp, we just been focusing a lot on just like setting up our punches, because at that elite level, it's a different type of game up there, You can't just go in there thinking you're going to run up to somebody at that elite level and just going and throwing a hook and knocking him out, that's not going to happen at that level. So
no, not at all. So if you could do all of this over again, your whole career over, would you change that? Would you change it from getting all of those 16 first round knockouts? And because even a knockout, if you had in the 6th, 5th round, 4th round, it doesn't put as much pressure as all of those in a row in the first round. Would you change that if you could do it all over again?
Nah, never. I think, God made it that way. God gave me the strength. God gave me that.
Not only that, those knockouts went viral, and his streak was viral. It was on ESPN. Everybody was talking about it. I think that helped your popularity and just shed a light on you, those first round knockouts. Do you agree?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. That's why I said, like, I wouldn't rewind that. God had a plan for me, and that's how, that was just me knocking people out in the first round. I feel like I gained so much notoriety doing that, you know what I'm saying? The bad thing, right, is that, you got guys like, like Devin Haney and, these guys that go the distance and, they consider great. But then me, that I was knocking everybody on the first round, and then now I'm going the distance.
There you go.
Now they're saying, oh, he's a bum, he's whack, he's, because I'm not putting people out, so that's just, that's the bad thing about it, about me doing the first round thing. The first 16 fights.
Absolutely, because what really goes viral is the knockout itself. You know what I'm saying? You find out afterwards they were all in the first round. But did you see anybody switch up, like the celebrities or all of the people that were showing you so much love after the knockout stopped?
No. I just, I know that, to be honest, like everything started like really changed for me when I moved out here. Like when I moved to Tampa and stuff, and I just got away from everything and everybody. Like I'm not in the mix no more. So,
Right,
I could call anybody I want. They're gonna pick up the phone. Like that's not the issue. It's just I just knew I had to just like leave that alone. You know what I'm saying? And just like really just focus on my career. Because I started noticing like, damn, I'm like when everybody, because it's true, like when everybody's on and everybody's, winning, when you're winning, everybody want to be around a winner. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't really want to fall into that no more, like into like the hype and shit.
What you mean, like the limelight, the hanging out too much or what?
Yeah, not hanging out, but like just, like the limelight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like I just got to just, keep God first, focus on my career and just, and my family, and that's what really counts. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know what? I want to be honest with you. There were people, because we work in the field, right? Everybody comes with, if you're in a barbershop or you're in a place where people want to come and flood you with questions, right? So they always have opinions on certain things. People would come to me and say, yo, that kid Edgar's good, but he's so flashy. He's getting caught up into that life with the chains, hanging out with the rappers. He's not humble. I'm like, but do you know him personally? How would you know he's not humble? Just because he has a chain on, that doesn't define a man, right? So my question to you is, what's the biggest misconception or what do people have wrong about Edgar that you notice that they might have assumed about you that isn't true?
I think it's that they think I'm not humble, but they just go for like Instagram and stuff and social media. You know what I'm saying? Because when people get to really like meet me, they're like, damn, this kid is so humble. He's so loving. Damn, I thought he was going to be cocky, and he went and gave us a picture and he gave us an autograph, So that's the type of person I am. Like, I don't let none of that define me. You know what I'm saying? Like, as somebody cocky, me growing up, I've always loved that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I came from that background of, with music because of my dad, being in the music industry and, me being around artists and So I feel like I've always been like that, even before like the whole pro thing and stuff. Even when I was a kid, I've always been around that, cars and and jewelry and stuff. But yeah, man, like I said, like I just made a big move like this because I just feel like right now at this level, it's time to just really like lock in and focus on my career because the 168 division is dangerous right now. So I gotta just be prepared.
Yeah, absolutely. So before you fought Quigley, before that fight actually happened, you were saying, okay, I got to get Quigley out of the way, and then I want Munguia and Canelo, or maybe straight to Canelo. Now, you moved to Florida, and now your next opponent is Padraig McCrory. When you picked McCrory before the fans knew, before the media knew, did you say to yourself, oh boy, now I got to hear the nonsense they're going to talk about my opponent?
Yeah, for sure, because like, the only reason why it took so long to find an opponent and everything was because we was trying to lock in the Munguia fight, you know what I'm saying? And we kept like going back, we was going back and forth, with Matchroom and the numbers. Just the numbers didn't make sense for us. So we was like, nah, we're not gonna do it.
Trying to cut you too low? The check was too small? What was it?
Yeah, the check was too small for a magnitude of a fight like that, and I was just like, we just wasn't feeling it, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, we're not doing it. Like, for that price, I mean, that's a mega fight for me and Munguia, you know what I'm saying? So, and then we had offers. We asked we asked for John Ryder, but then we wound up finding out John Ryder was gonna fight eventually, like 2 months down the line. He was fighting Munguia and stuff. So we was like, and then McCrory came up on the list, and we was like, yo, we could just take that. You know what I'm saying? We could just take that. He's undefeated.
He's
ranked. He's ranked, I think, 4 in the WBC.
He's ranked higher than you in the WBA.
Yeah. So we was like, yeah, we could take that, So
do you feel in the super middleweight division, do you feel like because there's been so much talk about Canelo and Benavidez fighting, right? And then you got Charlo in the mix, that maybe do you feel any disrespect where your name isn't mentioned amongst those big fights when you are one of the biggest names at 168?
Yeah, because like after this fight, my name is gonna be mentioned again. You know what I'm saying? Like last year, my name was getting mentioned left and right. I just feel like this year I really gotta like, I can't be doing fighting the one time a year thing. Like we was trying to push to finish the year fighting in December, November, but that didn't happen. So this year, like I already spoke to my dad, spoke to Keith, and I'm like, yo, I want to fight 3 times this. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta keep getting my feet wet, because me just fighting one time a year is not happening. You know, it's not like I'm not making that Canelo money where I'm making 60, 50, 20 M's. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That you know, you can fight one time a year, but you know, right now I'm at that stage where I gotta get those fights.
Absolutely.
Right. So what conversation have you had with Matchroom or Keith? I don't know if you're involved in those conversations with Matchroom, or is it just Keith that speaks to them? But you laying out this year, like if you can pick your next 3 opponents, right, in the order that you want them in, after McCrory, who would they be?
We was looking at Munguia. You know what I'm saying? That's a big fight for us in Canelo. You know, you got this dude talking smack.
Who's that?
This dude, Gabe Rosado, he talking smack over here on social media and stuff.
And that was kind of your boy at one point, right? But now he's talking crazy.
He's just talking smack, but he's talking so much smack that I'm on social media. People was like really liking the fight. Like they're like, yo, like they really like liking this fight. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. But
so would you entertain that?
Yeah, I mean, I got one more fight with Matchroom. You know, I got this fight February, then I got one more fight, then I'm a free agent after that. So, you know, I mean, whatever lines, you know what I'm saying? I think right now, like after this McCrory fight, I think a big major fight should happen. No question about it. Like I think this year is that year. You know, especially like I can't be fighting, like I said, I can't be fighting one time a month. Like, I mean, one time a year. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah, that's just no good for no fighter, really. All right, so while you're in the mix fighting these guys, hopefully you get the Munguia fight or whatever, maybe even Gabriel Rosado, you know, but Canelo right now supposedly is fighting Jamal Charlo and maybe Terrence Crawford. Do you think any one of those guys can beat Canelo?
Nah, I mean, Charlo, I don't think he could beat him. Crawford, I think I don't think he'll beat him, just for the simple fact that he's just a smaller guy, you know what I'm saying? And Canelo's just gonna try to go in there and just, you know what I'm saying, walk him down, and you know, he's just a bigger fighter. But I really do think that Terrence Crawford has bigger than the other Charlo that fought him. You know, I think he could go in there and really make something happen. You know, I don't question him about that. I know his and his heart is bigger than this world. So
yeah,
and he got a good IQ. So it's different.
So you think there is a possibility that he can pull it off?
Maybe. It's
hard to say.
I just feel like he's just too small, you know. But listen, man, you see what David did to Goliath, man. You know, so I can't doubt that man.
Amen. I like that. All right, so what about this fight that's coming up? Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua. Who wins?
Ngannou's a beast, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere, man. Obviously on paper, you know, Anthony Joshua should beat him, but you know, I think Anthony Joshua gonna beat him. I think he should beat him. You know what I'm saying? No way you're going to let a guy from the UFC just come in and do that. You know, and then he just went and did that to Fury. It was like, I was like, damn.
You know what we noticed, Edgar, recently, like fighters talking about, it kind of started with Teofimo a while back about wanting to retire just out of frustration, right? And then, you know, your boy Shakur recently said something. I'm hearing talks that maybe Errol Spence might be calling it quits as he puts a peace sign up on Twitter, right? What do you think is causing this recent urge of these fighters wanting to say something, even if it's not 100% true? Something is pushing them to wanting to say, "I'm done with this sport." Where does that come from, in your opinion?
I mean, as a fighter, you know, talking from a fighter's point of perspective, I feel like, you know, sometimes it does get overwhelming. You know, boxing, bro, we, as a fighter, we give our lives, our heart and our soul to the sport, you know, and it's not like we jumping on the court and we got a team full of players, and we, you know, football team full of players and baseball team full of players, man. It's just us in there that's going in there fighting, you know, taking the punches. And then not only that, we got to train, and, you know, we got to support our families. And then, you know, then you're getting criticized on social media, you know, so it's like every fight, you know, you could fight 3 good fights, and then one fight, you know, looks like shit. It's like the whole world is against you.
They forget about everything you did, right?
Yeah, man. So, sometimes that could get to a fighter.
What about the business side of it too, when fights
The
not
business
happening?
too, yeah. When not getting paid the amount of money you want to be getting paid, them like, shortchanging you on a fight, it's a lot, man. Or them putting your back against the wall where you got to take a fight. You don't want to take a fight. The fight it's a lot that comes with the sport, man. And at the end of the day, we all human.
Has that ever crossed your mind amongst the, the tough times throughout the sport? Have you ever looked, in the mirror and say, like, I might be done with this? Not because you're not a fighter inside, but because you're overwhelmed with everything?
Yeah, when the whole situation I went through with, when I was breaking up with Top Rank, and it was just a lot of things going on, and I went through a little depression in 2022 after I fought Angulo. Me separating, I didn't have, Andre Rozier didn't come to camp, and then I went and fought, and then the whole thing with the air bite, and then attempt air bite, and then they was just trashing me, and then I was going through with Top Rank, trying to break off with them, and right there, bro, I was like, yo, I told my dad around that time, I don't even want to box him. When I was trying to go back with my old trainer, you know what I'm saying, and that wasn't happening. Like, I couldn't go back with my old trainer, because certain reasons. And I was like, damn, bro. I'm like, yo, bro. I told my dad, I said, F this. Like, I said, I don't want to box no more, bro. I'm like, it just gets overwhelming from us. But it's crazy because, like, we talk like that, but we just love the sport. We would die for the sport. So that's what keeps us going. Like, it was plenty of times me as an amateur, like, wanting to quit as an amateur, in the beginning of my pro career when nobody wanted to sign me. And I was like, yo, like, I was like, F boxing, bro. Like, it's just too much. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So what pushed you over the top to say, nah, man, I can't do this. I got to keep going?
To be honest, man, it's God. I leave it all in God's hands. I got a greater relationship with him. I've been seeking for him more and more. And I just feel like, I was destined for this, because when I was growing up, I wanted to be a baseball player. You know what I'm saying? I was playing baseball and I was doing boxing, but for some reason I fell out of love with baseball. And then I wound up just loving boxing. So I always pushed myself back to those days when I was like wanting to play baseball and I lost the love and I just started, boxing. I'm like, I was destined to be this. Like, God wanted me to be this. Like, this is what I'm good at. Like, this is my bread and butter right here. This is what God made me.
Absolutely.
It was set for me to be, was a champion in the sport of boxing and eventually break off into other things. But yeah, man, I think I'm just destined for this. So
thank God.
I'm just gonna go in there. That's why I moved out here. I'm like, yo, I just gotta give my all to the sport. Right, we got a short window, so we gotta just give it everything we got for these next 4 or 5 years. See what we can do with it, make the most money, become, make a legacy, and go off to my next life.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm glad you made the decision to come to boxing. We appreciate you. Teofimo went through the same thing. That's why Ak mentioned guys like that say they want to retire. Yeah. And the same thing, he found God and he had that moment of peace where he can make that transition back to the sport. But speaking of Teofimo, did you see his fight recently with Jermaine Ortiz?
Yeah, I seen it, yeah.
And what'd you think?
What was your take on that?
Some people are saying that maybe Jermaine won. It was a close fight.
Yeah, it was a close fight. I just feel like, Jermaine was going in, like, he was just talking, man, so I'm knocking him out. I'm going to knock him out. And then he go in there and he fight him totally different.
That might have been a psychological game. That might have been, part of the strategy.
Yeah, for sure. I just feel like when you fight a champion at that caliber, I feel like, it was just a lot of, like, too much movement going on. You get what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like a lot of, like, contact. He was just doing a lot of movement, like too much movement. I think if he would have been doing movement plus a lot of,
offense, more punching,
more punching. Then I would be like, yeah, you can give him the fight. But for me, he was just doing a lot of movement. You know what I'm saying? And listen, man, like, at the end of the day, when you fight a fighter like him, he'll make anybody look bad. You know what I'm saying? If you would have put Tank in that ring with Jermaine Ortiz,
yeah,
he would have made Tank look bad. He would have made Shakur look bad. He would have made a lot of these guys look horrible. So it's just the matchup too. You know what I'm saying? Like, find a guy like that that's just on some moving, getting out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really, and a lot of, for Tirimo, he should have like, cut the ring off. But like I said, bro, it's just hard, bro. It's hard to fight a fighter like that guy. He was going in there not trying to get knocked out.
As far as McCrory, what do you know? How much have you watched of him, and what do you need to be concerned about when it comes to him?
Just with him, I know, he's coming to fight. I know, he could come in to protect that O. I just got to be on point. You know what I'm saying? I just can't get hit with no dumb shit. I got to be super duper on point. With him, I got to be sharp. And, I got to take my IQ to another level to make him understand that, there's levels to this. You get what I'm saying? I got to be sharp. I can't get hit with nothing stupid. I got to just outthink him. I know he's coming in there to fight. I know he thinks he got a big right hand. They call him the hammer. He's coming from Ireland. He's coming back out here. He doesn't have much. He's trying to, make a name. He's old. He's 35 years old. So, he's trying to make his mark in the sport before he leaves. So, for me, we just got to be on point. I got to execute the game plan that we got for him, and just look amazing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just be sharp-minded and just take him to another level where he just goes in there. He's just like, damn, bro, this kid is just different. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. All right, so listen, we want to play the Standing 8. Everybody's familiar with it. We've been doing it for years, but we got a new version of it. So in this particular Standing 8, we're going to name 8 particular fighters. It might be current fighters. It might be some legends. And each fighter, you got to say how would a fight between you and him would end up. So either unanimous decision, a draw, a knockout, or, technical knockout, whatever, or you can even be humble. Let's say if we said Muhammad Ali, we're going to stick to your weight class though and say, I think Champ will beat me or whatever. So we're going to start now on the new version of the Standing 8.
Diego Pacheco.
Knockout. Me.
Roy Jones Jr. You thought this was gonna be easy. You're gonna be disrespected. You're gonna disrespect the legends in here. But go ahead.
He can say what he wants. That's not disrespect.
Let's go.
He feels like he away.
Let's see.
Probably be a split decision. Me.
Oh, okay.
Jaime Munguia.
Knockout.
Joe Calzaghe.
Oof, that's good. That should probably be a draw.
Oh,
all right.
Wow.
Carl Froch.
Carl Froch. Knockout.
Andre Ward.
Yeah, that's the goal right there. I don't know. I probably. I think I go either way too.
Either way. All right.
Okay.
David Benavidez.
That'll be a knockout.
Knockout for you. And the last but not least, Canelo.
Probably split decision.
Wow, split division victory over Canelo.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, well, that's a Standing 8. You're the first one to do the new version. Thank you.
Say no more.
Listen, good luck on the 24th, Edgar, as always. Looking forward to seeing you shine that night. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.